I like the win to always
Lovely.
have. All right, let's get to our guests because I've got a lot. I've got a lot I want to talk about when it comes to real estate. Bri King joins us, and some know her as Bri Waterman, and she's been serving the Santa Clarita Valley in real estate since 1999. I'm an old guy. That just seems so long ago, right? And
25 years.
25 years. Okay.
yeah, it just seems like it seems like it's 107 years,
Need a
but
calculator to
yeah,
figure all that
In real
out.
estate years.
I run out
Yeah,
of toes and
yeah.
fingers, right? So, before we go to break, I just want to get some history on you. I think that people
Who
need to
you
know
are,
about
yeah.
you. They need to know about the different people that we bring in here. It's kind of like we may know who they are, but the listeners don't. So, you're a Santa Clarita Valley resident. Did you go to Saugus High School?
Yes, I did. I actually was born and raised here. So 41
Wow.
year native Santa
Wow.
Claritian since
Wow.
before the mall was here, and we were sitting
Wow.
on San Fernando
All right.
Road.
Did you pick carrots though? That's the question.
I did
Yeah.
not, but I drove by them.
It's a lot of changes
Wow.
since,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, so much. Yeah, Central
Wow.
Park was onion fields. So
It was oh,
Wow.
that's right. You know,
I
people think I'm nuts. I say there is
still
sometimes
smell.
you can still smell the onions in the
yeah.
air around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I went to Rosedale Elementary, so across from 7-Eleven, there were actually horses that were on that
Oh.
property that now are the Sonrisa townhouses.
Oh.
Yeah, you say I've only been here 20 years, right, half the time, and seen some major changes
Me
that my
too.
wife and I'll drive into town and go, wow, look at this place. It's changed so much
And
in
the
in a
city's
relatively
done
short period of time.
Yes, and the city has done a beautiful job, I think, in maintaining that growth and keeping everything still that small town feel, but it's grown so much
That's
in the
right.
meantime.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
It's a big town Mayberry, right? I mean,
Exactly.
well, it was one of the things I noticed when I first got up here was that you could see the growth, but the mindset of some people was they were trying to force it to stay down and force it to stay small, and you knew it wasn't going to happen. Schools were growing, there was a bigger need for schools and other things going here, and city council budget was growing like crazy. They're bringing in more parks. You said you're not going to be able to maintain this,
Right.
and you've got to have a solid, good city council. Bree, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I want to get into the real estate market, what's going on, where you see things going in the town.
Absolutely.
You're listening to Trending SCV with Joe Messina.
And Sonia Schmidt.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Catch us on AM 1220 FM 98.1 or at hometownstation.com.
Welcome back. If you can stop mamboing for a second, Joe Messina, and get your head in the game. This is Sonia Schmidt.
I'm Joe Messina.
You're listening to Trending SCV.
All right. So we're getting reports that the electricity is out in Sand Canyon, and trying to get updates from Edison, but you know how that's going to work, right? So there's nothing on their map that it's out, but if you've got that, give us a holler over here, right?
Let us know so we can help others.
Yeah, 298-5487.
Yeah.
KHTS.
Whip out that generator. Right? That's what you did.
I got a generator. I ain't
that's-
waiting for them. I got it
Yeah.
right after actually, I got it during the 3-day outage.
Oh, wow.
We were down for 3 days. I have a mother-in-law that's home in hospice. So I'm going like, this isn't going to work. So I went and got gouged, and
They saw you coming.
they saw everybody coming. There was a line there out the door to buy generators. So that was a big deal back then. And you're seeing it happen now. We had an outage. The other day. But please have Bri King with us. Some of you know her as Bri Waterman, and I just got to tell you, I shop at Albertsons on Bouquet Canyon. Can't get away from you, man.
I know,
I'm so
man.
sorry.
I mean,
Everybody knows you.
Apologize. I don't go to those stores personally because it is super awkward to look at yourself.
I can imagine, right? It's in that little thing in front of you, and then it's
Right.
on, yeah, I just started laughing. I go,
You are
wow,
everywhere.
This is
Well,
the way to
smart.
do it, though.
You know what it is? I am like the least salesy person you'll ever meet. So like if you didn't know that I was a realtor, I wouldn't
You'd
tell you
never-
that. So
wow.
that just kind of takes the pressure off of me because when I walk in a room, they go, "Oh, I think that's that realtor," and then they can
That's
come to me instead of me hounding them for
Yeah.
Good
for
idea.
sales.
And we've established that she was born and raised here, went to high school here, is working here.
She knows what onions smell like.
She knows
All
what
we're
onions
cool.
smell like.
And so when did you sell your first house?
When I was 18 years old, I got my real estate license.
Yeah.
So as soon as I was old enough to, and then I became a notary public as well. Worked with my mom in real estate, and then she passed away unfortunately due to pancreatic cancer. So when I was 21, and that kind of threw me for a loop because I
Yeah.
thought I had it all figured out,
Oh,
and
wow.
realized I quickly did not. And then basically just kind of picked myself up from there and just continued on. worked through the real estate market crash, which I didn't realize could happen because I didn't get a warning like the rest of us.
Right.
So that humbled me down real quick, and I had to jump in to take a job in title actually, and actually worked at Costco to make ends meet. Just because I'd call my clients and they're like, "Bri, we'd love to move, but we're upside down. We've got no equity.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's
Equity
right.
is not promised.
No.
Come to find out.
Wow.
So that was a humbling time, and then like I said, I've just carried on, and then my husband and I started our own brokerage 2 years ago, Prime Real Estate, and so we're here on Town Center Drive, right by Larson's.
Oh, wow. Very good.
So you've seen a lot of changes. In
A
the time
lot of
you've been
changes.
you've been selling real estate, and I know, God, we moved here. I think it was the year of 9/11. We had moved in that June, and then got settled. Matter of fact, we moved in. I took the last trail load. We moved in from Latuna Canyon, and I took the last trail load of furniture. And coming up my street, I see a fire all along the ridge
That
line.
happened to us too. Our
And my
first
wife
week
couldn't
here.
get back up. I said, "Well, all the furniture's in the house. If it goes, I guess we get all new
You know what I
furniture."
did? I calculated. My husband was driving down Placerita. He goes, "There's a fire. I don't want to alarm you." And then I realized how fast the winds were going and which direction. I'm like, okay, it's going to reach the house at about 2 something. So I jumped in the pool. I'm like, I'm going to swim. I'm going to enjoy this place before it blows.
But it's interesting what I bought the house for, and I couldn't afford it today. There's just
Isn't
no
it
way.
amazing?
And I see these starter homes at $600,000 on Plum Canyon. I think a starter home at $600,000.
Absolutely.
How are you moving this stuff? We got interest rates of 6 and 7%. You got young people; they both have to be working to be able to make ends meet. How is this stuff moving today?
Right. And are there trends that you're seeing of who's moving in and from where and
Absolutely.
types of buyers?
Absolutely. So I'm in the trenches personally still. So I work about 60% listings, 40% buyers. So I get to hear the information I'm giving you is real time. It's what my cell phone's doing.
Sure.
It's who's calling and asking me to move as of this afternoon and yesterday. So this last year, I've seen a big push of people coming from Glendale, Burbank areas up to Santa Clarita, because if you see what you can get for $1 million there versus here, it's incredible. So,
Yeah.
the average mortgage payment that I'm seeing is really between $7,000 and $10,000 a month nowadays, which
Holy sweet Jesus!
I never thought. I mean, back when I started, $2,000 was everyone's ceiling. It was like
Sure.
not a dime over
yeah.
2,000. That's my breaking point. And then I saw it go to 2,500. And then when we broke 3,000, I'm going, gosh, that looks irresponsible to me. And but it's requiring 2 incomes, and I'm seeing a lot of folks though starting to get inheritance. As the silent generation is moving on and leaving real estate assets to their kids, and grandkids, and so they're having to make those big decisions now.
It's good to hear it's doable, though. I mean, not the inheritance angle, but that people are making these high mortgages work.
I think what it is it's the optimism. COVID made real estate cool again. The millennials didn't want to buy; they wanted to travel the world and live in a cool, trendy
Sure.
apartment.
Right.
And then once they got stuck there, they went, you know what? It would have been nice to have my own place where a landlord
Yeah.
can't kick me out when they feel like it. And now we have a dog, and we want space, and now we might have a couple kids. So holding on to a tangible asset and getting the tax write-off and having a roof over your head, and hopefully maybe turning that into a rental one day. That trend is back. And so I love being able to offer those options to the younger generations as well.
I know you don't have a crystal ball, but do you see these interest rates going down at any point?
We're in an election year. I do think what's funny is 6% seemed really high last June, right? Like I mean the
Don't went to 7.
the speed that we hiked those rates, our market should have crashed, and somehow it didn't due to the housing shortage. So the last 2 years we were hovering around 180 homes for sale on average in the Santa Clarita market at any given time. Now we're up to 365 homes on the market as of today. So we've doubled our inventory, which is fantastic. That might soften our prices a teeny bit. The stuff that needs work and updating, the buyers don't always have. There's a limited amount of buyers out there that have the funds for a down payment,
Right.
plus this high mortgage payment,
And
and then to do a renovation. So that pool, the dated homes, you're selling for $100,000 difference if you're up to date versus if you're not. And that remodel is costing you $100,000. So
right.
it's simple math.
Right.
But to answer your question, I do believe the interest rates will come down a bit, but the minute they do, the prices are going to jump right
Sure.
up along with
Yeah,
them.
that's that
So,
trade-off.
yeah.
When we bought our house, it was at a time when real estate agents were in the front yard, negotiating the price for
Sure.
that house,
There's
and,
more
and
demand.
might be 2 or 3 couples out there,
Oh yeah.
doing that kind of thing. But again, you've got the old folks like myself that are sitting there. I remember back when we were buying our house, and then we were there for a little while, and we started making friends in the community. People were buying houses so they would go from their 2 bedroom to a 3 bedroom to a four. They were buying up in the community.
Sure.
The trend now is they're leaving the community, and not that there's a better. They're leaving the state. Really,
They're
we were
leaving the
just
state
talking
again,
about
yeah.
that
Yeah.
as what's going on here and people moving out of the state kind of thing. So, are you seeing that as well when you're selling homes of those people moving out of state?
I am, and I'm seeing people be very thoughtful about the process. They're doing their homework with where they plan to go. Then they're bringing the parents with them. Then they're bringing the siblings with them. So it's a community, family effort, and it unfolds over time. So I'll come in, give them some ideas on what to do to the house for the plan to move in 6 months or 12 months from now. And then, but the prices
That's
out of
smart.
state are not so cheap either.
Right.
So
No,
you
they're
got to really do
rising
your
as
homework.
well.
And some have, hired property taxes. You really have to do your background.
And then I find Texas is really confusing. Although the prices were great when I was looking there, but they have this flexible property tax rate,
Right.
and it just sounded like a headache. They said, "Well, you can write in for a waiver, or you can apply for." Like, I don't want to do it anyhow. So why
I'm
do I
leaving
want
the
to
state.
deal with
I'm
this?
leaving here for stress to avoid stress in the first
Right.
place.
Why would you do
I
that?
am. I'm your worst nightmare. My neighbor, God bless him, he not the new one, but the old one. We next door to him for 18 years. I mean, and they were a blessing. They were a great couple and what have you. And before he sold his house, he spent the last year. He put crown molding in. He put new carpets in. He did all this stuff, right? And the new buyers came in top dollar for the house. I was very excited. He got top dollar for the house.
Sure.
And within 2 weeks, what do I see? I'm seeing
Rip it out.
yeah, carpet sitting in it. I'm going, dude. You should have let me rip it out. You get the same floor plan. I would have.
Well,
My
that leads
carpet.
me to another question. I'm a home stager as well, California certified home stager.
Awesome.
And we were told about the importance of staging a home, cleaning it out, making it very simple instead of filling it with stuff that the buyers may not like. But then I've seen some houses that are completely overrun with junk and they sell very quickly. How much do home sellers have to pay attention to staging?
I would pay attention to it by a long shot, coming in. And if you're going to do something like that, where you're planning a move and you're thinking about putting some, upgrades in the house, call your realtor.
Yeah.
Call your realtor, because you don't want to put 50,000 in to get 50,000 out.
Yeah.
But if I can tell you how to put 10 or 15,000 in to get probably 50,000 out.
Perfect.
Wow.
And so, if I tell you paint it Swiss coffee, it's not because I think my taste is better than yours. It's just I know what the buyers are looking for. And, so it's just, now the difference is remodeling a bathroom is not cheap anymore.
No.
You can't roll in and out for 10,000. It's double the cost. So, you want to make sure your ROI is there, but also the finishes that you're putting in are ultimately saleable too.
Right.
So, it's a funny,
Right.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I can't read it. Bri,
she's writing.
quickly tell us where you're,
Oh, yeah.
how people get a hold of you.
you can come on into the office.
Oh, really?
At any
Pop
time.
by.
Phone
Just
number,
come on in.
yeah, whatever.
661-433-4485 is my personal cell, or you can just go to your local grocery store, and I am
That's
on the
true.
shopping cart.
She is
The cell phone number
everywhere,
is there
folks.
as well.
She's been shopping with me here for 20 years on my,
I'm
on
happy
my
to keep you
basket.
company.
That's right. Or go to the Prime Real Estate website.
Yes,
All right.
primescv.com.
All right. Thanks for being with us. I appreciate
a
your time.
pleasure.
And you'll be
Thank you.
back, because I want to know the difference between a broker and a real estate agent and all this stuff that I hear about. And many of us want to know. You're
And I
listening
need
to
to
Trending
learn more,
SUV
too.
here on KHTS AM 1220 FM 98.1. Be back in just a couple of minutes.